Luke 13 again, on the Sabbath, verse 10, on the Sabbath, Jesus was teaching in one of the synagogues, and a woman was there who had been crippled by a spirit for 18 years. 18 years. He was bent over and could not straighten up at all. When Jesus saw her, he called her forward and said to her, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity." You are set free from your infirmity. Then he put his hands on her, and immediately she straightened up and praised God. Now there's and of course Jesus was accused of working on Sabbath. That's the next video perhaps, but I just want to pick up the fact that the woman was crippled by a spirit for 18 years. You know, I mean, if a crippled person like that, we would say go do physical therapy or go to see orthopedics or something, you know. Oh, the other way is, oh, there's old age, you know, what can you do? Let them bend over. But for Jesus at that time, and God inspired words say she was crippled by the spirit of infirmity, spirit for 18 years. King James Version is great and calls it the spirit of infirmity. So guys, what I'm trying to say is there is such a thing called spirit of infirmity. Infirmity means sickness, weakness, physical, mental. You know, if you look around today in America, we have no shortage of such problems, especially mental and emotional infirmity. Okay? You know, you may not cast out demons so much physically in America today because of our culture, because of the setup, because of the atmosphere and all these things. But you know, we actually in the Western world actually go deeper. We go to psychological or mental, physiological. If you ask anybody how much mental stress and sadness and the atmosphere, the spirit of this age has pumped into our young people, and today they go for counseling, okay, for psychiatrist counseling, whatever, and spend like a year, probably spend like $1,000 a year, you know, on this constant counseling to deal with the depression, deal with the anger, anxiety, and all this thing. Yeah, to a certain extent it helps. It's sort of like somebody give you a listening ear. I have gone through this myself, not for myself, but for one of my kids, and I know what it is. It's almost like it's like a circular argument. Just go around. Whatever the case may be, this is what the modern world would do. But for Jesus, it goes straight to spirit. He identified that. And you know what he did? Woman, you are freed. He just touched her. Woman, you are free from your infirmity. No counseling, no hours of counseling, nothing of that sort. No drugs. Oh man, the drugs is the worst thing. Now in these days they give you calming drugs. What drugs are drugs? Drugs is one of the worst things in the world. They are good. They are good in some cases. A lot of time the side effects is horrendous because it's so counter nature. But I'm going back to that, the fact that Jesus touched her and healed her. Okay, that verse 13, then he put his hands on her and immediately she straightened up and praised God. Immediately. There is no delay. Immediate. We have two things I have to bring now. Number one, we in the West are so rationalized in our thinking, logical thinking, scientific thinking, that we ignore and reject the spiritual world, the world of spirit infirmity. If you preach this on Sunday morning, people will go, what? Oh, that may be true for the first century, but ain't no more. We are in the 21st century. Hello, spirit don't change. You may change it from, Fortran computer language to C language, and now whatever it is called artificial intelligence, the most powerful thing now on earth. Okay, so all these things are happening, but changing progressively. But the spiritual world do not change. They may they may change, they may adapt and adopt a little bit in the manifestations, but it is so clear the root cause of it doesn't change. It's the same old thing. So unless we understand and get that, so when two things. Number one is we in the West have ignored the spiritual world. I mean the churches. Okay, the pastors and preaching has ignored that because we don't know how to deal with it and we don't want to talk about it. We just pray. So now the other side of it, the flip side of the coin, is the charismatic Pentecostal have tried to cast out demons, try to identify. You don't even need to identify them. Just go and they cast it out. As a lot of that's what Jesus did. Okay, the woman was bent over for 18 years. When Jesus saw her, he called her forward and said to her, "Woman, you are freed from your infirmity." One word. I mean, one sentence, 6 words. You are freed from your infirmity. And that's it. Not even touch her. Just speak to her. That's how powerful Jesus is. And Jesus said, all authority and power has been given to me. Go and make disciples of all nations. And I'm with you. I'm with you to the end. I'm with you all the way through. So the powerful Jesus is with us today. So begs the question, how come we're not doing it? Because number one, our theology is so screwed up. Number two, we face so many disappointments that we do not dare to do it anymore. Frankly, I said I believe in this spiritual casting out of the breaking bondage, cast out demons and all that. I do. But it is very, very long, tiring process. Sometimes it's fast, very, very rarely. I used to do that quite a bit, like 2 decades ago. But now it's kind of, nobody talks about it. You see that? That's why Paul said our warfare is not against flesh and blood. Our warfare is spiritual, against spiritual demonic powers, principalities and domains and powers in the air. So we're dealing with completely different. I think the second problem needs to be addressed by the church is to recognize that the people of God, servants of God, have the power given by God to use it to bring healings and set the bondage free, like casting out demons, all this, for the people of God or that anyone coming to church. We should do that. But because our anointing is so far from Jesus and Paul and Peter for that matter, that it seems that it's so long and so exhausting. A lot of people just don't want to do it, even if they believe in it. Okay, so, and the other question is, we don't know whether that's the case. So the safe bet is just a prayer for them. If our prayer is really anointed and walking with God, what described in Luke 13 should happen immediately. We don't need to stand there and shouting out the demons, get out, you demonic spirit infirmity, get out of her. We don't even need to say that because Jesus didn't say that. Jesus said, woman, you are freed. Is that amazing? Woman, thou art freed. Just like that. I like to be able to do that. Woman or man, thou art freed. That final question, that has to be answered by Jesus and Him alone.